Hi everyone, welcome to Discover. Well, once again we've left the city behind. We're out here in the mid-north of South Australia and we've discovered a little adventure you might like to have a crack at.
It's called Dares Hill Circuit, a self-drive tour near Hallett that you can do in the family car. Peter Michell uncovers the country town that's fast becoming a destination for lovers of food, wine and art. And the energy and excitement of dragon boat racing, how you can get involved in one of the oldest team sports in the world.
Now, did you know that from about now right through until November is the absolute prime time to visit the beautiful Flinders Ranges? So much to see, so much to do. Art shows, horse races, some great walks and some beautiful drives through these incredible mountains. Here are just a few ideas for you.
The new Flinders Ranges Spring Events program has been released and it offers everyone the opportunity to experience the best in this region with local people and experts as your guides. The local Adnyamathanha people will introduce you to their culture with walks, tours and traditional outback campfires where you can learn their Dreamtime legends and songs. In Wilpena Pound there's a host of activities including a guided discovery walk to Wangara Lookout. You'll see why the pound is a geological monument and why it has special conservation significance. Small children will love feeding farm animals and watching the sheep being shorn. And you can send the older kids off on adventures of their own. Perhaps a guided outback mountain bike ride where they can discover old copper mining sites before heading to the Copley Bush Bakery for lunch or discovering the stars in the night sky through a telescope. For the more adventurous, there are canoe tours near Lee Creek, trail rides on horseback from Rawnsley Park Station and abseiling in the spectacular Parachilna Gorge.
Fantastic.
Now, four-wheel drive enthusiasts haven't been overlooked. There's a host of guided tours and adventure options to choose from. Discover the mountaintops on Aqaba Station, following the Akapina Scenic Adventure Trail to the top of the ABC range, or travel in specially constructed open four-wheel drive vehicles along the ridgetop of Akarula. Take a trip out to Lake Torrens and witness the contrast between the white expanse of the lake and the fiery red sand dunes close by. The Flinders Ranges also contain some interesting secrets. For instance, did you know that caves on Orapina Station were the focus of mining activity for nearly 50 years? And no, they weren't searching for precious metals. The high phosphate and nitrogen content of the bat droppings inside made them perfect for use as fertiliser. So for something different, why not take the tour through the cave system? For those who have always wanted to walk the Hyson Trail, this is the perfect opportunity to do it in the company of other walkers and a guide. Accommodation and meals are all included in a 7-day walk through one of the most interesting and scenic sections of the Flinders. There are 37 different events to choose from in the Flinders Ranges Spring Event program, which runs from the 22nd of September until the 12th of October. 15 activities will run every day throughout the season, so no matter which day you arrive, there's always plenty to do and see. For bookings or inquiries, check the website or phone the Wilpena Visitor Centre on 8648 0048 and experience this fabulous part of our state at the very, very best time of the year.
On today's travel auction, we're offering a fantastic package for golf lovers. How would you like to holiday amongst the historic townships and stunning scenery of the Adelaide Hills? Well, keep watching, because shortly we'll give you the details of a great holiday package with a normal retail value, and then invite you to register a bid with the price you choose to pay. It's important to remember that this is an auction, not a competition, so the price you bid is what you'll pay for the holiday if you're one of today's top 50 bidders. Today's package is for 2 people and includes 3 nights in a motel suite at the Mount Lofty Golf Club, overlooking the 18th Fairway and Ornamental Lake. You'll also receive a bottle of Hardy's wine on arrival, breakfast daily, a buy one get one free round of golf, buy one get one free entry to Cleveland Wildlife Park, and a 20% discount on dinner one night. Choose to travel during selected months and stay another night absolutely free. What a great opportunity to play on this wonderful scenic course. It's an ideal escape for a couple, or why not organise a group of friends? Normally valued at $275 for 2 people. Today you can name your own price. Whatever you bid is entirely up to you. And if you're one of today's top 50 bidders, you'll have 12 months to travel. That's up to 4 nights accommodation and so many extras. If you love your golf or simply want to relax and take in the fantastic scenery of the Adelaide Hills, ring 1300 65 65 73 and place a bid now.
Think of any country town in South Australia and you'll probably find a butcher, a small supermarket and maybe even a local fire station. We're in the main street of Truro today and the buildings behind me used to be just that, but recently they've been transformed into a state-of-the-art winery, a gourmet cafe and a brand new art space and a whole lot more. Let's have a look.
If the idea of good food, great wine and interesting art appeals, then Truro has it all. Craneford Wines moved from Springton just 4 years ago and their operation has since expanded into the adjoining 3 properties. The former fire station is now home to Zilm's Cafe and wine tasting. Next door, the old supermarket is now a super art market and the old butcher shop is now a house of olives. The best part of all is that these businesses are all working together to put Truro back on the tourist map. Now, if wine's your passion, then a visit to Craneford's is an absolute must. Their wine has won plenty of awards. It's so good, it's not even sold in Australia. Outside of the Barossa Valley, that is. So wine boffins all over the globe have the pleasure of sniffing, swirling and swishing this fine South Aussie drop.
Now, I sell most of my wines overseas to 16 countries.
Right.
I have a very good mail list and obviously through Cellar Door and the cafe.
Right.
I do support 2 or 3 places in the Barossa though that have wanted the wine, but mostly it's overseas.
Where overseas?
The US market is very good. Canada in 3 states, China, through Malaysia, Hong Kong, Singapore, Austria, Switzerland, Denmark, Iceland, UK, Ireland.
Nowhere else?
No, I haven't got any wine left.
And the list of wine styles produced here is as extensive as the countries John markets them to. There's the famous Barossa Shiraz, Grenache, Merlot, Cabernet, and the whites include Riesling, Semillon, and Chardonnay. But more recently, his reds have been getting all the attention from the wine experts.
Tell us about these Parker points, John. You were mentioning them earlier. It's an award of some kind.
Yeah, Robert Parker owns a magazine called Wine Advocate, and he's just awarded 5 of my reds over 91, and one of them happens to be the Merlot here, which achieved 95 points only 2 days ago.
Wow. And that means it's pre-sold or?
Yeah, it's pre-sold.
Okay.
Yep.
So some huge containers.
Yeah, these are all open red fermenters. Yeah. Basically hold about 8 tonnes of must, which is the juice in the skins, which we ferment. And if I want to rack out barrels and do some blends, they'll hold to 10,000 litres, which is 1,100 cases of wine.
That's a lot of wine.
That's a lot of wine.
That's a very big party, John. Love this old building, John. What's the history behind this?
Well, traditionally Truro was a Cornish place, and normally they built their kitchens away from the main house, which is the dwelling across there.
Yeah.
And what we want to do with it is to turn it into a tasting room for functions that we have in here. Oh. It's 149 years old and has an 8-foot underground cellar in there as well. And what I plan to do is to cement the floor and make it safe. I have power and water in there now.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get someone just to repoint the walls, cut a hole out of here, and then be able to use it for that tasting function. But I want to leave it with the ivy on the roof and exactly as it was.
Mark my words, Truro has every intention of establishing itself as a mecca for art and art lovers. The art space bears no resemblance to its former life as a mini-mart. It's a real feast for the eyes where you can wander around at your leisure and even watch an artist at work.
At the moment we have 23 or 22 South Australian artists. One is a visiting artist who is from New South Wales. And we have lots of different forms of art, not just the art on the walls, but we have sculptors, we have wood turners, and one that I'm very fond of is the jeweller.
Now, this isn't something you'd see every day. It's a 100-year-old olive press from the road of 1,000 Kasbahs in Morocco. How exotic is that? It was brought to Australia by Oriel and Martin Wright, and it takes pride of place in their new Barossa olive shop.
Well, this is absolutely beautiful. It looks to me like a chandelier.
It is a chandelier.
Aha.
A French chandelier.
Ah. With little bottles of
olive oil.
Olive oil in it, right?
Yes. This is some of the products that I sell in this shop are from Olivier & Co, which is a French company that has branches through Europe, and they were the pioneers of the idea of olive oil tasting. And in every one of their shops they have this chandelier. So when we decided to stock their products in our shop, this was top of my list.
Everything here is dedicated to olives. There's olive oils, olive wood artefacts, olive trees, olive ceramics, olive skincare, oh, and of course, all sorts of delicious table olives.
So if the wine, the art and the olives isn't enough for you, I've got another reason for you to visit Craneford's. The Gourmet Cafe is second to none. The food is as varied as it is delicious. Oh, and by the way, they also cater for people with all sorts of dietary requirements, so there really is something for everyone.
It's not hard to find Truro. The main highway to the Riverland passes right down the main street, and now there's plenty of reasons to stop here and stretch your legs. You'll be surprised what you find.
Possibly the oldest team sport in the world, dragon boat racing, originated in China in the 3rd century BC. Festivals were held to encourage good rain for good harvest. These days, it's accessible to absolutely everybody in Adelaide. You can do a new course that the WEA are holding. I'm just about to have a crack myself.
Now, this could be interesting. Today I've joined a class who have been learning for 3 weeks now and have all the technique, style and grace of genuine dragon boat teams. So what's involved for a newcomer like me?
Well, we hope to give them a good introduction into the basics of dragon boating. We start off with obviously all the safety talks and the things of that sort of nature, keeping fit, stretching. We go out to try and teach them the first couple of weeks just on rhythm and style and that. Then we move into things like the race starts and different sort of stroking styles. And we sort of finish off with a good number of races. It's always good fun. We take out 2 boats, and even though we're not competitive, you don't want the other boat to finish ahead of you, so it's always good fun.
All right, they say the head and the tail of the boat is what really gives the dragon its personality. And if these two are anything to go by, I think we've got ourselves a couple of friendly fire breathers. Well, it's now my turn, and it looks like I'm going to have to prove myself pretty quickly. I may need to enlist the help of a seasoned professional.
Well, here we are.
Here we are.
And Eliza, you've been very good to actually give me a go in one of these things.
We have.
But there are some serious aspects, aren't there, to dragon boat racing?
There are. You have to listen to the sweep at all times. He's in control of the boat. Make sure that everyone sits steady so that we don't roll over, fall out.
That couldn't be good.
That's not good.
No.
No. And if that does happen, you always look for your buddies. So you're my buddy at the moment.
G'day,
so
buddy.
if we roll the boat, I'm looking for you and you're looking for me.
So, after a few tips and techniques from Eliza, it's my turn at commanding the boat for a practice race.
Apparently, I'm the pace setter. Now, I am the pace setter, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
Now, I don't know whether anyone's got any faith. Have you guys got faith in me?
No.
Right, nice. Okay, what did you tell me?
Oh, well.
Here goes nothing. Are you ready? Paddles forward. Go! Oh, you also splash everybody. I don't like it. That's right. You're killing me!
Okay, so as you can see, I was working pretty hard, but after a 4-week course, these WEA participants have all the necessary skills to join an existing club, if they're keen to continue with the sport, that is.
Give it a shot. I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained, as they say, and it's a great way of meeting new people. And the team here that are very friendly, so we're more than willing to get more members.
Give it a go, absolutely. No matter what age you are, you have to give it a go. And you can progress at your own speed and pace.
Remember, Dragon Boat courses are run through the WEA, so give them a call or check them out on their website for more information.
Well, that is some of the best exercise you're ever going to get.
A reminder now of today's travel auction holiday package. We're offering up to 4 nights at the Mount Lofty Golf Club with wine, breakfast and a buy one get one free offers on golf and Cleland Wildlife Park entry. An ideal escape for golf lovers or those who want to explore the Adelaide Hills. Normally $275, how much will you bid? Call now 1300 65 65 73.
Tomorrow is opening day for the Adelaide Speedboat Club at North Arm. The action is back on again with exciting powerboat circuit and drag racing from 1 p.m. Windmill Performing Arts will present the Hans Christian Andersen classic The Snow Queen at the Dunstan Playhouse. Nuala Hafner stars in this 21st century fairy tale, which is suitable for children over 6 and their friends and family. Next month, Jamestown will host its 4th Air Spectacular. Many types of aircraft will be on display and in the air, including a Merlin-powered Mustang, Gypsy Moth, a Tiger Moth, a DC-3 and a biplane. There will also be fireworks displays and a special dinner on the Saturday night. For more information, call 8664 1838.
Well, from time to time on Discover, we've taken you on some great little drives around our sensational state. We've got another one for you today. It's called the Dares Hill Circuit Tour, and it starts in the mid-north town of Hallett and goes through to the old railway town of Tarawi. It says here 177 kilometres. The great thing is you don't need a four-wheel drive to do it. We'll be going in the Terracan, of course, but you can do it in the family vehicle. Along the way, ruins, some high spots, some great countryside. They tell me it's a great trip.
Now, don't panic about the length of this trip. The 170 kilometres I referred to was if you started out at Burra, where you can pick up a map at the tourist office. But you can also grab one at the Hallett Post Office, and from there, this adventure to Tarawi, well, it's actually only about 90 kilometres. We had the perfect day for it, not too warm, not too cold, and right from the start, the countryside was looking superb. Real good South Aussie scenery. Up ahead, Mount Brian, one of the highest peaks in this region. Mount Brian is also a significant landmark for another reason. It was home to a real pioneer.
Well, we've taken a bit of a detour, only 3 kilometres, but we think it's well worth it because this is Sir Hubert Wilkins' cottage. We showed it to you some years ago on Discover when a group of dedicated people decided to rebuild the birthplace of this great South Australian.
Sir Hubert was the first man to fly over the North Pole. He also tried to go under it in a submarine he bought from the United States. He was the first to film moving pictures of combat during World War I and the first to shoot motion pictures from an aircraft. He was also a highly regarded explorer. The other outstanding peak is Dares Hill, hence the name of this tour, the Dares Hill Circuit Drive. You'll cross through Collinsville, one of Australia's best-known merino sheep studs. The scenery was starting to change now. You'll also chance upon some old abandoned ruins that were once the Piltimiddiapa homestead, built in the 1850s. A reminder of how tough this country can be, evidence of early hope, then perhaps despair. Further along this very good track, the township of Mallet, a town surveyed but never developed. Just some fabulous countryside kept us company for the last leg of the journey as we headed toward Tarawi.
Oh, that was a great drive. Really enjoyed that. Plenty to see, plenty to do, and some great contrasts in the countryside. And you end up here, the old railway town of Tarawi, where of course the very famous American General Douglas MacArthur uttered those equally famous words, "I shall return." And we'll return too next week on Discover with some more stories for you. Have a look at this.
I'll take you on an outback flying tour where we drop in for a look at the opal mining town of Andamuka. It's new, fresh and very South Australian, the East End eatery that specialises in local produce. And Peter Michell tackles stage 1 of the Federation Trail, a brand new bushwalking track built entirely by volunteers.
Yep, just some of the stories we'll have for you next week on Discover. Look forward to having your company then. Stay with us now for 7 News.